Hello everyone, it's been a while since I have made video on the series I started, that is on personal computers. So we were building the value PC, and the topic we are going to cover in this video is about PCIe, that stands for Peripheral Component Interconnect Express. So let's, and this is a very important topic because due to PCIe, we are still able to use old computers. So I will explain it in a while. So for the recommendations were that you should have at least i5 with 4 threads, and it's better if you have an i7, and fourth generation should be more than enough. I am still using the first generation i7. And mini tower, if you have a desktop tower, is better. Workstation, if you want to have an old laptop, then workstation is better because it can be upgraded, and a 500-watt power supply is good to have. This is what you should have. This is the minimum. And on the USB side, 3.1 USB is the minimum standard if you are buying something today refurbished or something. And the new is USB 4 or USB 3.2 is the minimum, and USB-C is the port you should look for, and Thunderbolt for new laptops are must because Thunderbolts can handle graphics too. So let's move to our PCIe. So these are the PCIe slots, and on the bottom you can see these are the old PCIe slots. Now we have this PCIe Express slots, and you can see in the older one the shorter opening is on the right side, and now it is on the left side. So these are all our PCIe slots. So this is PCIe with single lane. This is big one. This is 16. This is 1. This one has 4 lanes. This one has 8 lanes. So you can have cards that can PCI cards that can work with 1 lane, 4 lane, 8 lane, and 16 lane. 16 lane is the fastest one because this is this has more lines to for data connection. And remember one thing, this data is directly linked with your processor, so these are very fast because the processor can communicate directly with these slots. So let's talk more about the versions. So the first version was launched in 2003, and it can go up to 4 Gbps, 4 gigabytes per second. Then the second came and it went up to 8 in the third, that was launched in 2010. It was 16 gigabytes per second. I hope so it's bytes, it's not bits. And then the PCI 4, it went up to 32. The PCI 5 launched in 2019, it was 64 gigabytes, and with PCI 6.0 launched in 2022, it was 128 gigabytes per second. But this is the year of release of the standard, but you can't have PCIe 6.0 right now, because in 2022 what we are getting is PCI 5.0 with 64 gigabytes per second. And this was bandwidth, and this is data transfer rates. GT, you can look up on the net what is GT stands for. I don't know. So anyways, so let's move to what I want to say is, if you are getting a new PC, go for PCIe 5, because this will, although it will be a bit expensive right now because it is only supported by the latest processors, but it will give you many years of service if you don't plan to upgrade sooner. But for the refurbished one, or if you are building a value PC, I would suggest buy a PC which at least has one PCIe 3 third generation X16, and the recommended is you should have at least two PCIe slots, and one can be X4, but one X16 is necessary. And if we can look at this is the 2010 standard, and it can go up to 16 gigabytes per second. So this is the recommendation. And there are some mini PCIe slots in the laptops. These are used for the WAN cards, wireless LAN cards. So these are present in laptops also, but these are the mini PCIe. Then we have express cards, and these are again the PCIe, but there are some limitations. You can't find a 16 lane either in mini PCIe or in this express card, but in the laptops you may find X16, I think 16 lane if you have a removable video card. These express cards, these are obsolete now, because new laptops are coming with Thunderbolts, and they are much faster than these old express cards. Then there is another slots coming in, that these are called M.2 slots. These are present in our desktops and laptops. And the new SSDs, these are also sort of PCIe, and these are basically used for SSDs, because now SSDs are very fast. And if you have an older desktop, you can use the PCIe X4 riser card. This is I'm using in my desktop, and I can tell you that my desktop, which is older, I think that's 4th generation, but it boots very fast. In laptops it's good to have, but it's difficult to find these M2 slots in older laptops, or even the PCIe slots are not open to accept every card, so they are limited to Wi-Fi or something, because in these cards you can use the specific connectors for specific things. So maybe you have the port, but that specific connector is not connected with your processor or the motherboard. There is no motherboard line for that, so you can use it for maybe generally it is limited to, like, if you look at these, so all these lines are not connected with your motherboard. Only those that can be used for the wireless card are connected with the motherboard. So, but you can check out maybe if your laptop has a full PCI, then you are lucky, and then you can use this slot for some other peripheral, and you can use an USB wireless LAN. Anyways, so the most important thing is the PCIe SSD. I will talk about it in later videos. The next video is about RAM, but let me stress again that you should have at least PCIe 3 in a desktop X16, and recommended is 2 slots. One can be X4, because in my desktop I am using the 16 lane slot for the graphic card and the X4 for the SSD. That's why my old desktop is still good and boots very quickly. So next video will be about RAM, and then I think we'll move to SSD, and that is also important. So bye till then.